Good morning, guys. It's been a while since we have did a self-healing with Vanessa, but I have a very touchy subject that I want to talk about today. It's been kind of heavy on my heart. I just haven't had the time in my schedule to do it, but I am off today, so I'm going to talk about it. It may be a little lengthy video, but the things that I'm talking about are going to be real. It's going to help somebody out there. It's going to touch somebody out there. Somebody might be going through the same thing that I went through. The story that I'm going to give you today is going to be something that I went through, I got through, and I came out of. It's not something that I'm currently going through. It's something that I went through before. And I'm also working on t-shirts and bottles. I'm going to try my first bottle. I'm trying to expand my craft, so I'm doing a bottle. I've done a shirt, some shirts. I just woke up, so I was like, let me get this video. I'm still in my sleepwear, as you can see. I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. But still, I'm still in my sleepwear. My head looks horrible, so I threw this on my head. But that's besides the point. I hope everybody is okay. I hope this video is finding everybody safely. I hope you guys will share this video because this is something that is not talked about a lot. This is something that is kind of brushed under the rug, until it actually is happening to you. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about domestic violence. It is something that I personally have went through more than once. I went through it more than once. Not too many people know that I was in a abusive relationship because I don't let people know that. And then at the time when I was in the abusive relationship, nobody knew because I kept a smile on my face. I was always up and jolly. I never let anybody know exactly what was going on. I lied for that person because when you are in an abusive relationship, those are things that you do. You lie for that person. For some reason, when you're in an abusive relationship, to leave is not the first thing on your mind. They can say they're sweet nothings and you go back. I know I'm not the only one who's done it, so I don't feel bad, but they say, oh baby, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I did that because of this, or they give you some sad story, suck you back in, and then you go back. I found myself going back multiple times because I did not love myself. Me personally, I don't think I ever had a clear figure of what it was like for a man to love a woman because I never got taught that. The only thing that my mama told me when I was younger was, when you get older, find you a man like your daddy. That to most that was a teaching, but for me that wasn't a teaching. So it was like I didn't learn until I got out there and bumped my head and did it a couple times for myself. And then when I finally got out there and bumped my head, I got it. So it took me a couple while, but my first abusive relationship would be my son's dad. I was with him. I met him in Job Corps, and when I graduated in June or July of 2010. So it was right after I graduated, and he was the first guy when I got to Job Corps that I talked to. So me and him talked, and then 3 months later, I found myself pregnant. That was not my plan to get pregnant, but hey, I was kind of being a rebel against my mama, and I got pregnant. So I ended up getting pregnant, and then when I graduated from there, I didn't want to be separated from him. I wanted the whole family thing. I wanted, us to be a family and everything like that. So I moved in with him and his mom. Everything was going good for the first 2 weeks, but need I remind you, I'm pregnant, I'm getting bigger. By this time, I'm probably about a good 6 months. Can't tell, but I'm still pregnant. And so things were not the way they needed to be. He didn't have a job, I didn't have a job, his mama didn't have a job. So food was limited. His sister had to help us a lot with getting food, and sometimes we'd have to go days without eating because we didn't have money. So we did that. And then I would be job hunting because I was like, man, I've always had this mindset that I just had to work. It didn't matter if I was pregnant. It didn't matter if I wasn't pregnant. I wanted to work. I wanted money on my own. I didn't want to depend on nobody. And so I was out trying to find a job. I landed a job. We were on the way to the job and the car messed up. So I didn't get that job. So we got back home, and so I was just depressed because of my living situations. And so he was like, you need to get up and you need to get a job. I don't care if you got to walk to the job. You need to find a job. And I was like, I'm pregnant, you know? I'm getting bigger. Things on me are starting to hurt. Sorry, excuse me. Things on me are starting to hurt. I can't keep on doing this. So he was like, you need to find a job. I don't care what you have to do. So I'm thinking to myself, why do I have to find a job? Why can't you find a job? Why can't you go out there and work? Why is it all up to me? Why you can't walk to your job? Why it's gotta be me? So he didn't like that. And so, me and him got into an argument. At first, it started off with a shoving match. He pushed me, I pushed him back, trying to hold my ground. Then the next thing I know, I'm pregnant. He's choking me. I can't breathe. My feet are off the ground, and I feel myself passing out. So I was like, whoa, that's when it got real. I'm like, you're really mad that I don't want to work. Like, I can't believe you did that. So, like the typical female, I cried. I went to the room and I cried. I told him I hated him. I didn't want nothing to do with him. I was leaving. He was like, whatever. I don't need you. He said all his mean stuff, called me all types of B words, hoes, everything. And then he left out the house. About 2 hours go by, he came back. He had candy. He had my favorite candy at that. He had my favorite soda, Dr. Pepper. He had this long, drawn-out message of how he was sorry. And I was like, I know, I got you heated. It was my fault. I'll try harder to find a job. It's like I took it and I put it all on me. Like it was my fault. He was like, I won't do it again. I was like, okay. But as everybody knows, if you've ever been in a domestic relationship, once they do it, it only gets worse. And that's exactly what happened. He told me that he wasn't going to do it again, but it got worse. It went worse from him just choking me to him punching me. I'm still pregnant. To him choking me and slapping me. I'm still pregnant. Him depriving me of things. I'm still pregnant. Then one day I just snapped out of it and I decided I had to get out. So I went because me and him was having this big heated argument. Oh, I told him that I wanted to go see my mama. But I didn't want to go see my mama. This was my plan to get away from him. I hadn't even put the plan together. I hadn't talked to my mama and let my mama know or anything. I was just letting my mama know everything was okay. Hadn't let her know that, he's doing this to me, he's doing that. I'm just, and so I go and I'm getting ready to tell my mama that, I want her to come get me, but I haven't talked to her yet. So I tell him, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I was like, I want to go see my mom and my aunt and them for Easter. I was like, they only come down once a year. And I was like, I want to go see them. And he was like, okay. He was like, so when do you plan to come back? In my head, I'm not coming back. Like, I'm not coming back, but I'm not about to tell this man that. So I just tell him, I'll be back soon. I'm not going to be gone long, probably a week. So he was like, okay at first. And then he started thinking about it. You're not coming back. You're not going to come back. I was like, yeah, I am coming back. I'm going to come back. He's like, no, you're not coming back. He's like, I'm not crazy. You're not coming back, Vanessa. So he gets mad. When he gets mad, he picked up my suitcase because I was packing a couple things. He was like, if you're going only for a week, why are you packing all your stuff? And I was like, I just want to make sure that I have everything, because in all reality, I really didn't have anything. So he picked up my suitcase and he chunked it across the room, broke my suitcase. So I was like, okay, you need to calm down. I'm coming back. Like, I promise I'm coming back. Next thing I know, he picks up a TV. And it wasn't flat screen TVs. It was the TV with the booty on the back, the big heavy ones. So he picks up the TV and he chunks it at me. The whole TV. And just in time, I laid down on the ground and it flew over my head and hit the wall and broke. I was like, dang, you're really crazy. So I run out the room and I run into his mom's room. And I'm like telling her like what happened and help me. And he comes in there and he's like, I just want to talk to you. He's like, I'm not even gonna do nothing. I just want to talk to you. I was like, no, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. So his mama puts him out the house. And was like, get out, let me talk to her, let me calm the situation down and everything like that. His brother is there and his brother sees everything. He's like, are you okay? He's crazy. You need to get away from him. I was like, yeah. So then he kicks in the door. He kicks the door down. He comes storming. He's like, I just want to talk to Vanessa. I'm not going to do anything to her. But y'all aren't about to keep me from my girlfriend. And so I'm scared. I don't have nothing to say. I was like, I don't want to talk to him. He kicks the door in. His brother calls the police. His own brother calls the police. The police get there, question him. I tell my side of the story. They start questioning everybody. The brother says, no, he didn't do none of those things that she is saying. Why did you call the police if you weren't going to have my back? That's the point I don't understand. You called the police. You see this man and kick this door in. You didn't see him chunk the TV, but you see the TV is broke. You see there's clothes all over the room. You think I did that? I'm little. You think I did that? So I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. So I went and ran me a bath. I went and locked the door to the bathroom. I sat in the tub, let the water run so I could talk to my mama. I wasn't really in the tub. I was just running water, and I called my mom, and I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here. I need you to come get me. And my mom was like, if I come and get you, you cannot go back. That's not an issue. I need you to come and get me. And the next day, my mama came and got me. I couldn't do it anymore. But then he ended up moving to Texas, just coming to Texas out of the blue. And the cycle just started. It was just, he was different. Like, he loosened the lug nuts on my car. I was driving and my lug nuts on my car, on my tire, they loosened. My tire shot off, almost wrecked my car. He wished death on me like 1,000 times. He would just pop up at my job and leave notes. He was crazy. He was like crazy. That was my first abusive relationship. My second abusive relationship, I've been in 4 abusive relationships, and they were all back to back to back. That's the sad thing about it, because it was like I didn't know no other way to be loved. I didn't know how a guy was supposed to treat a woman except for with his fist. That's the only way, because I had been in them so many times. So my second abusive relationship, it was with this guy I was working with in Walmart, and he used to flirt and be sweet and talk, and we just hit it off. He was funny, and we would spend our lunch breaks with each other and everything like that. So I started talking to him, but it was always him and these 2 other guys, like his best friends or something. And so he was always with them. Then all of a sudden he didn't work at Walmart anymore. I don't know, I think he was through a temp agency and something happened and he didn't have a job anymore. But me and him were still talking or whatever. So I was in Lufkin every day. So I spent my lunch break at his house. He stayed with his mom and his grandma and his brothers. But his homeboys would always be over there. Okay, I didn't see no issue with it as long as they didn't mess with me. I didn't care. So me and him were just like cool. We always hung out and everything like that. No problem, no issue. Then one day, his homeboy was like talking to me, and I started talking back just like a regular person. You know, he's talking to me, so I talked back. We weren't talking about nothing but some puppies, because he raised pit bull puppies. I was talking to a guy about trying to buy a puppy off of him, and he didn't like that, you know. So he was like, what are you doing? You call yourself liking on my friend? I was like, no. Me and him were talking about me buying a puppy. And he was like, you don't get to talk to him. I was like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like, we were talking about puppies. He didn't like that, so he slapped me in my face. When he slapped me in my face, he busted my lip. So my lip is bleeding. He's like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I just got mad. I'm just protective over my women. I don't like for my homeboys to talk to them, because I know what my homeboys will do. They'll try to get with you, and I don't want that to be you. So I was like, you know, I'm just kind of stunned because you slapped me in my face. Like, that's crazy to me. So I took like a week and I stopped talking to him. And then of course I went back to talking to him, and I was just still confused. Like, you slapped me in my face, like, why? And so, but I didn't stop talking to him. That's the crazy thing about it. So I didn't stop talking to him. I kept on talking to him, and after a week, everything went back to regular. And then same guy, he got ready to have a baby, and I had a bunch of baby stuff from Elijah, and I told him that I would donate the baby stuff, like he could have it, like the car seat, the baby clothes. Because what was I gonna do? I was just holding on to it. So I told him that he can have it. And so he was like, you keep on talking to him, you must like him, you must do. I was like, no, I was just telling him I had baby stuff that he could have. And he didn't like that. And so, once again, he slaps me, but this time it's harder. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't keep doing this. Like, you keep slapping me. Like, you're slapping me for no reason. I feel, because I don't want your friend. So he just slapped me, and he was like, you better ask my mama what happened to the last girl, because she barely didn't make it. And I was like, that scared the crap out of me. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, she barely made it. And I was like, I don't understand. I understand what that means, but like at the same sense, I did not understand what that means. Like, you're trying to tell me you're gonna like kill me or something? Like, I didn't understand. So it kind of scared me. And so my mama knew about that one, and she was like, yeah, you need to stop talking to him. But I was still sneaking and talking to him on the phone. And she was like, Vanessa, what are you doing? Why are you still talking to him? Like, he didn't already showed you what kind of person he is, and you keep talking to him. And I was like, I don't know. It's just something about when you're in an abusive relationship, leaving is the scary part, I think. Leaving is got to be the scariest part. It's got to be. After that, I was in another abusive relationship with Raylan's dad, my daughter, her dad. It wasn't really abusive. Me and him got into 2 heated arguments, a push and match when I was pregnant once again. He put his hands on me, and then when he found out I was talking to somebody else, he came and he shot my house up with me inside of it. He shot the house up. So yeah, that was another one. And then my last abusive relationship, when I was just like, yeah, that's enough, it's gonna be, it was horrible. It was the most scariest thing I've ever been through. And that's when I just was like, yes, I can't do this anymore. I was washing clothes one day, and the guy that I was with, I was going through his pants pockets before I put his clothes in the washer. I pulled a condom out of his pants pocket. And I looked at him, and I was holding it, and I looked at him, and I said, what is this? And when he saw it, he was like, that's a condom. I was like, yeah, I just found this in your pants pocket. He was like, no, you didn't find that in my pants pocket. So I am allergic to latex. So basically, I'm not gonna say I don't use condoms, but I don't use condoms very often. So he was like, you're cheating on me. He just switched. He was watching TV, he was chilling. He was like, you're cheating on me. I was like, no, I found this in your pants pocket. So he got up, jumped over the couch, and the next thing I know, it was just the bra was on. He came, he choked me, he punched me. And so I'm just trying to run, and I'm like, what are you, like, I'm confused. I found this in your pants pocket. So he just snapped. I went and I ran under the bed. He grabbed my legs from under the bed, and he pulled me from under the bed, and he just started kicking me in my stomach, just kicking me repeatedly over and over and over, kicking me in my stomach. And I was just like crying. I was in a ball. And then I got up and I tried to run again. He pushed me on the bed, and he punched me all up in my chest, and he slapped me all up in my face. And the only thing that I can think, because my kids was in the next room and they were taking a nap, I was like, I have to get away from him because he's going to kill me. He was not stopping. And so I'm bleeding and got scratches and stuff all over me. And so I go to try to run out of the room again, and I have to pass the washer and the dryer. And when I did, he grabbed me at the dryer, and the only thing I know, I just slammed the dryer door. And when I did, his hand was in there, and it smashed his hand. And he was like, ah, and he screamed. And as soon as he screamed, I bolted out of the house.
But I was so mad because my kids was in there. I was like, I don't know what he's gonna do. And I ran to his house, like I was in this trailer park. So I ran to the house that's directly across from me. And I beat on the man's door and I beat on the man's door and nobody was answering. So I just opened the door and it just happened to be unlocked. I ran through the man's house and I was like, you gotta help me, you gotta help me. And he was like, what's wrong? I was like, he's over there, he's putting his hands on me, he's beating on me. I was like, I'm scared of him. I was like, I gotta get away, but my kids are over there. And he was like, okay, just go in the bathroom, I'm gonna call the cops. So I went in the bathroom and I was like, please don't let him in, please don't let him come over here. He came over there and he was knocking on the door or whatever, and he was like, you need to come out. And I thought it was him, so I was like, please don't let him in here, please don't. The cops, it was the cops. The cops get there, they do a statement and everything like that. Nothing happens to him. Nothing happened to him. They didn't pick him up, they didn't take him anywhere. I was just hurt. I was just like, so they was like, we see cases like this all the time where the girl gets beat up and they go back to them. But so I was like, nothing happens. You see these scratches, you took pictures, you have evidence, everything, and nothing happens to him. Nothing. So I just want to let anybody out there know, because I'm stronger now. I'm not, I haven't been in an abusive relationship since then, because I know the signs now, and I know that when you're in an abusive relationship, they tell you anything that you want to hear so that they can get you to stay. That's not like the full story, but I didn't want to make this long. We're at 21 minutes right now. I could have made this really long and gave y'all every little detail, but I kind of chopped it up so y'all can just get it. I kept going back to each one of them, and I wasted a lot of time by going back to them. I wasted a lot of precious time where I could have been doing something else. I'm not gonna say it's okay at all to be in an abusive relationship, because it's not. But if you're in an abusive relationship right now, or if you have ever been in an abusive relationship, know the signs. If they do it once, they will do it again. It doesn't matter what kind of apology they give, what kind of therapy they get, what they do so they can prevent it, they're gonna do it again. Know that. Please know that. If they give you the sweetest, baby, I'm sorry, marry me, I'm a change, they're not. They're gonna do it again. And if they did it once, the next time they do it, it's only gonna get stronger and harder. So if they slapped you the first time, they might punch you the next time. After they punch you the next time, they might kill you the next time. It is not worth it. Abusive relationships, no matter how much in love you are with that person, is not worth it. It's not worth it. You waste a lot of time. You hurt a lot of people. People have to check on you more. People are scared. And then when you're lying to people and they don't know and something happens to you, they don't know, they're kind of confused. Like that day, if I wouldn't have been able to slam his hand in that door and he would have killed me right there, my mama would have never knew. Because I never let her know about any of my abusive relationships. I never let her know. I never let anybody know that I was in an abusive relationship. But being in an abusive relationship has made me the person that I am now, because I know the signs. I know what I'm not going to deal with. I know if it happens one time to get away. I could talk about it now and be okay. There's a lot of people in abusive relationships and they don't know how to get out of abusive relationships. I can help you on what you need to do to get out, stay away, and make sure that it never happens again. Make sure you never get in one again. It's just a part of the past. I can't say that everybody's been through it, but I know there's a lot of women out there that has been in an abusive relationship, and you had questions like, what did I do? It is nothing that you did. It is the other person. They are battling something so much deeper than you can help them with. And if you stay and try to help them through it, it's only going to get worse for you. It's only going to get worse for you, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They can tell you that they're going to stop, but the next time it's just going to be worse. The next hit is going to be harder. The next gift is going to be bigger. So it's not worth it. You might as well get with a person who loves you for who you are and doesn't have to show you how much they love you. by the amount of force behind the fist or the amount of force behind the slap. There is no love that requires a hit or punch, a slap, a kick, nothing. Nothing. So if you are in an abusive relationship, please, please, please listen to this video. Listen to it, because it's only going to get worse. The first time is not going to be the last time. The first gift is not going to be the last gift. The gifts are just going to get bigger. They're just going to get bigger. You might get a watch for the first hit. You might get a car for the next one. You might get money. It's just so that you will stay. They have to keep feeding your wants and your needs so you can stay, so they can keep to abuse you. But it's only going to get worse. And then if you have kids, you have to think about those kids. When I was in those abusive relationships, I was just thinking about having a companion. I wasn't thinking about my children, because if I was thinking about my children the first time it happened, I would have got away. But I didn't. I stayed. I took their apologies. I took their reasons why they did it. I put it in the back. We started fresh, and it happened again. That's just how it goes. That's just what happens. So I just want to give you that. I can give a more detailed story for each. I have 4 abusive relationships now. I can give you a more drawn out story for each one of those. If you would like to hear it, I can. You can reach me at my email, Dealisa, DEALISA 23@gmail.com. If you want to know exactly what happened, you can email me and I can give you a little more. I'll give you my cell phone number if you email me and you want to know more. I'm kind of thinking about putting on not really a seminar, but an event once this coronavirus and everything clears up and people can be like around each other. And I want to tell the lengthy story of the domestic abuse and the domestic violence that I have encountered. This was, like I said, was just like a short version of it. But please share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I am about to get better with my videos. I am about to be posting more. Things have just been hectic, but I'm getting it all under control. So please share this, because this can help somebody who is going through a domestic violence relationship right now. Even if you don't know nobody who's going through a domestic violence relationship, just share it and hopefully they'll see it, and this video can make them finally walk away. It's not walking away, for some reason, is the hardest thing to do when you're in a domestic violence relationship, because you think about all the things that they do for you besides the abuse. And they be good people, you think, but when they get mad or when those little things trigger them, that's the only time. So you're like, I can put up with that because they're good these like 75% of the time, but it's that other little bit of time that they're mad that they put their hands on me, but I can deal with it. But it's like, no, baby, you don't have to deal with it, because that is not love. Nobody who loves you should put their hands on you at any time. Now, play tussling and stuff like that, yeah, that's okay in my book. But when it's serious and you know it's serious, no, ma'am, it's not acceptable. It is not acceptable. So if you have been in a domestic violence relationship, or if you're currently in one, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment, leave me an email, something. I want to hear from you. But please share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel. This has been Self-Healing with Vanessa. There may be a part 2 to this, but this has been Self-Healing with Vanessa. I hope everybody has a beautiful day. I hope everybody has a beautiful remainder of the week, and everybody be blessed. Love you guys. Bye.